So why would you want a folding wooden ruler when there's so many good tape measure options out there, like this M1 Pro Tape or Lufkin Shock Force or Stanley Fat Max or whatever else? Well, one reason is the ends of tape measures sort of trended to getting bigger and bigger. So there might be a time when we want to jam this in somewhere and the end is just too big. You just cannot fit it in with this big blocky end you want to butt in, measure where trim's going to go, and you can just snake this end of the ruler right in there, no problem. You can also use this little extendy thing for measuring smaller things. You can measure inside dimensions with this. You can extend it out, butt in. Let's see, let's move. Zoom. You can also measure inside dimensions with one of these. You can butt in and measure. So this would be 13 inches plus 7/8, so it'll be 13 and 7/8. So you can do inside measurements that are hard to do with a tape. I know this says that the back is just 3 inches and you can butt it in this way. Measuring inside this way with a tape is kind of a pain. It's hard to tell exactly where you should read here, and it can be hard to get a good sight on it. It's doable, but this way is easier, I think. They also can be nice when you want to measure along a flat surface, particularly a short distance, because here you got to tip the tape completely on its side, and then the body's thicker than the tape, so it's holding it up. And if you do this way, if you do a long measurement, that's fine because you get, this angle matters less. But if you try to do, 3 inches, suddenly I'm measuring from there to there, and that's just weird. Or it could tip it on its side, but now it's being held up by the tape body, so I got to extend the tape way out. Anyways, so measuring short distances on a flat surface, the wooden ruler does really nice for that. Or I should say folding ruler, because these plastic folding rulers are great also. New folding wooden rulers, in my experience, are garbage. The 2 Lufkin ones I got new were just complete crap. The joints were all sloppy. They were not accurate at all. I've got a video on testing one of those, or those two out. So an old folding ruler or a new plastic one are the way to go. Another time a folding ruler is nice is when you're measuring off a level line. Like this is shot by my laser level across the room, and you'd be shooting obviously further apart than this wall, but you want to measure up from that level line. So you do like this, you hold your tape, that's all well and good. And then you're trying to hold it here and the tape flops down, while you're trying to measure, and now you're trying to measure up a certain distance from your level line. And then you're like, oh, I'll go the other direction, this way, and then the tape flops over that way or something. So measuring along a vertical wall can be a pain, particularly over a longer distance. Over something like a foot or so really isn't too bad. Although you still end up with the problem of the end getting in the way and all that. But one of these is way easier to measure along a wall with. It stays nicely. You hold it with one hand, mark. Just do that and do whatever measurement I want. It's not going to flop. So for measuring up and down from a level line, a folding ruler is really by far better than a tape. Yeah, so definitely pick one of these up. Like I said in my other videos, the new ones are kind of crap, so I wouldn't get a new one. a new wooden one, I'd get a new plastic one or a used wooden one off of eBay. And if you can find a used wooden one with these metal little bumpers here, that means it's an older style and more likely to be of higher quality.
I forgot one of the other main reasons of having a folding ruler is that they're lots of fun to play with. So
fold them up, you can pop out the middle section.
You can make a little man, make him walk,
you can
give him arms, do all sorts of fun little stuff.
Head and arms, and now he walks.
You can make a fork,
Make yourself a fork.
do all sorts of interesting things, make a different fork, just all sorts of fun sort of fiddly stuff you can do.
Fork. So,
When I was a kid hanging out, as my dad worked on his projects, I'd always steal his folding ruler and start playing with it. And
I don't know how long.
I had a great time making all sorts of stuff. He'd always freak out when I started stretching it, but I never broke one, and I let my kids play with my ruler, and they stretch it too, and they haven't broken one. But they also like playing with my folding ruler. So keep the kids busy while you're working on a project.
Pulling it, they unfold it a couple of times.
You can also make other shapes and patterns, turn into a series of squares, zigzags, all sorts of stuff. It's really fun to fiddle with. If your kids tend to be a little rougher, maybe let them play with your older ruler, or purposely get a cheap one or get several. But anyways, get a folding ruler. They're really useful. I have a couple other videos on folding rulers about the decline of new Lufkin rulers, and also my experiences buying used rulers on eBay. So if you're looking for more stuff on folding rulers, check out my other videos on my channel.